Hi guys. It is just Margot today, and that's just because I've been sick. And Jenna Michael's family was coming over this weekend, so she didn't want a chance getting sick, and so we just didn't have a chance to record. So I'm doing it by myself, and I'm also doing it on Zoom, which, as you know, if you're on Patreon and have seen the Zoom videos, it makes me very uncomfortable to be seeing myself on camera. I don't like it. But I'm going to try not to talk about it because everyone who's listening on just audio doesn't give a shit. So let's pull up our story for today. Okay. So I'm not going to say our little intro because it's just me. It's just me. I don't know why I feel like nervous. Like I haven't done this. I've done this a lot, but it feels maybe because it's daytime. At nighttime, maybe I've had like a Loomy gummy or a glass of wine, and it's 2:00 right now. I was debating if I should work out first or do this, but I decided to do this. I'm probably not going to want to work out afterwards, but I'm going to try. Okay. So happy Tuesday to everyone. There was no bonus yesterday because it's going to be pretty brief. So let me tell you about our story today. Today we are headed to Glendale, Arizona to learn about best friends Jennifer Lueth and Diana Shawcroft, two young women who set out on an adventure to try and live life to the fullest, which they did for a brief moment before both of their lives were cut tragically short. So we're going to talk about Glendale, Arizona. Not one of my favorite places. Glendale is a suburb of Phoenix, and I'm sure we have some Phoenix listeners, so I apologize, but I do not care for Phoenix. It just is too big and too many highways, and just like the desert is a tough a tough place to pull off a, what am I trying to say? I don't know. But if you're going to live somewhere where it's so hot for several months of the year, for me, I at least want it to offer other things that I love about it, not just that it has nice weather for most of the year. I want it during those hot months to offer things. And like, to me, I can't imagine being in Phoenix in the summer. It just feels too big. It doesn't feel like it has a lot of culture. It doesn't feel, or community, I guess is maybe the right word, not culture. Anyways, I'll stop shitting on Phoenix. But it's located about 9 miles northwest of downtown Phoenix. That's where Glendale is located at elevation about 1,100 feet. And the population of Glendale is about 250,000. We've talked about the climate and weather in Arizona many times. I feel like I don't need to say again, but I will. It's a desert climate. Really hot summers and mild winters. In the summer, it's definitely well over 100 degrees, which we are getting close to. Let's see. The city is known for its sports and entertainment with venues like State Farm Stadium and the Gila River Arena, attracting visitors and generating revenue. The State Farm Stadium is home of the Arizona Cardinals. That's actually, I've only been there once. And it's actually surprising that I've been there at all because I'm not like a sports event goer. But when Joe Buck was there calling a game, he got me tickets, really good tickets. And I went up there with my friend Nicole, who lives actually up there. Nobody else was available to go with me. That sounds so mean to Nicole. I didn't mean it that way. I was hoping to bring my sister because she had met Joe before. Um, but she was unavailable, and Nicole was very sweet to go with me. We had a great time. Um, and it was like it was really cool. So we watched the game, and I do not care for football. Um, but I pretended to watch the game. And then about halfway through, like an usher, I don't know what you call them, somebody came over to us. You know, we were sitting like in the like third row or something from the field. And he was like, are you Margot? Can you come with me? I was like, yeah. And we followed him. We had these like passes around our neck, and we followed him through what felt like an endless amount of hallways and upstairs, downstairs, blah, blah, blah. And um, then we were in the announcer's box with Joe and Troy Aikman, and they had, like a spread of food. I apologize for the sniffles that you'll probably hear throughout. I am still getting over this cold. But they had, lots of snacks and food on the table there. And it was I've never experienced anything like that. Obviously got to see Joe and talk to him a little bit, but he was working. I mean, we just kind of stood behind them and watched them announce. Um, it was really neat. So, not that anybody asked. um, but so State Farm Stadium, home to the Cardinals, the Gila River Arena, home to the NHL's Arizona Coyotes. I don't even think I knew that Arizona had a hockey team. There's an annual chocolate festival called Glendale Chocolate Affair. Yum. And Westgate Entertainment District for shopping, dining, and entertainment. It's like one of those work play places. The average, which I feel like this is so unrealistic, but the average household income is 52 to 56,000. Average price homes range from 250,000 to 300,000. And some fascinating facts. It's the antique capital of Arizona, which I definitely didn't know. So the historic downtown is filled with antique shops, boutiques, and art galleries where you can find unique treasures and vintage finds. I would like that actually. The birthplace of the beet sugar industry. I feel like we've had this fact before if we've talked about Glendale. Sounds familiar. But in 1906, Glendale became the birthplace of the beet sugar industry when the Arizona Sugar Company opened its first sugar beet factory in the city. It marked the beginning of Glendale's agricultural and economic development. Okay. It was the host city for Super Bowl, gosh, XLIX. XLIX in Roman numerals. What does it mean? 49. I wonder if I could have figured that out. Probably not. So Glendale gained international recognition when it served as the host city for the Super Bowl 49 in 2015. Oh yeah, I think we have talked about this. There's an ostrich farm. I guess the ostrich farm that I know is on I-10, like on the way up to Phoenix. So I can't imagine that this is the same one because Glendale's north of Phoenix. But in the early 20th century, Glendale was home to Arizona's first ostrich farm, which was a tourist attraction and a supplier of ostrich feathers for fashion purposes. Ugh, I don't like it. Oh, it doesn't exist anymore now, but the legacy is commemorated in Glendale's history. The annual chocolate affair celebrates all things chocolate vendors, demonstrations, live music, and family friendly activities. Those of you who are watching the video, because I probably won't cut it out, I'm marking down times when I cough because I have a pretty bad cough and I want to cut that out. And Glendale has a haunted history. It has a reputation for being home to several reportedly haunted locations, including the historic Glendale Civic Center and the Saguaro Ranch Park. I would like to know more about that. So maybe we will do a lookup, which we haven't done in a very long time. that was a pretty short, brief intro and sense of place, but I feel like I should take the opportunity for those listeners who hate the banter to just jump right into the story when it's just me. So that's what we'll do. All right. So today, I do think somebody suggested this story to me. I was just gonna say I think I found this one on my own. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I didn't. This is from David from Patreon. I'm not going to say his last name because, first of all, I think I'll slaughter it and not say it correctly. Um, and I didn't ask him if I could say his last name. Some people don't want their last names shared on a podcast. Um, not that there's so many people listening, but some, and I appreciate every one of you. So yeah, this is from David on Patreon. He suggested this, and what a great one. Sometimes I mean, you'd think I would have it all figured out by now, considering that we've been doing this for over a year, but I don't. And I'm still like learning how to better evaluate a case when I come, we've gotten a lot of suggestions, which I really appreciate. Please, please, please keep sending case suggestions. Um, but some of them I like I'm like, oh, this will be a good one. I get into it, I start researching it, and then I'm like, ugh, there's not enough information, or oh, it's just too confusing. Like there's too many twists and turns. It's gonna get crazy and be too difficult. Um, so I'm getting better at knowing that. And this was really, I don't want to say nice because it's a murder case, but for storytelling purposes, it was really straightforward from start to finish, which makes writing the episode a bit simpler. Nobody asked for a peek behind the curtain on this, so I'll stop talking about it. But so our story today focuses on Diana Shawcroft and Jennifer Lueth. Jennifer was born in 76, Diana was born in 77, and growing up, they were inseparable. They were best friends. They went to, elementary through high school together in Loveland, Colorado. But in 1995, when she was 19, I believe, Diana moved to Glendale, Arizona, to live in an apartment with her older sister, Christina. This was pretty devastating to both of the girls, Diana and Jennifer, because they spent all their time together. They were so close, and for one of them to move was tough on their friendship. But they talked frequently and continued to tell each other how much they missed each other. And at a certain point, I guess Jennifer felt like, you know what? I don't want to live this far away from my best friend, and I want to go out on my own and try something new. She was also 19. So she decided to pack up and head to Arizona as well to move in with to move in with Diana and her older sister, Christina. This was February 1996. Jennifer also didn't really like the cold winters in Colorado, so this was kind of just a bonus that she would get to live in Arizona's nice, sunny, way too many sunny days a year weather. And her parents, Deborah and Bob, were actually completely on board with this. She's old enough to go out and kind of have an adventure and start a new life. So she did. And Diana and Jennifer shared a room because it was just a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was pretty small. But she was just so excited to be out on her own with Diana, kind of independent living for the first time. So they were both pretty thrilled about it. Jennifer was very close with her parents, though, so she called them almost every day. And the girls wanted to get jobs so they could have some money to obviously pay bills. But what they really wanted to do was explore Arizona and make friends and meet people and have all kinds of new experiences. So the girls wanted to get jobs, obviously, so they could pay their bills, be independent. But they also wanted to have some kind of fun money. They were very excited to make friends with new people and kind of have new experiences. So Diana got a job at Discover Card customer service, and Jenny got a job at Burger King. So these weren't dream jobs, but they figured they were good enough for now. They could eventually find something better, and they weren't too, stressful. They didn't take up too much time. It's not like they came home from work and had to do additional things, so they could leave work at work and then go out and have fun. And that was kind of their priority at 19 years old. Um, Jennifer was said to be a little bit more flirty. Diana was a little bit more reserved. Um, and although they both did look out for each other, I mean, they were just so close. Diana tended to be the one who would often look out for both of them a little bit more. Um, so living in Glendale, 19 years old, they both have jobs now. Now, all that's left to do is meet people, party, go out and have fun. And they did just that, according to Christina, um, Diana's sister, and plenty of other people. The girls were ready to have fun. They never turned down an opportunity to go to a party or a gathering. Didn't matter if it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 o'clock in the morning. They were both outgoing and friendly and likable, and they quickly met a lot of people in a very short amount of time. And Christina said it seemed like they were always, when they weren't at work, they were always on the move. They were always looking for the next fun thing to do. I guess back then, the like the there would be parties, desert parties. And actually Jenna's talked about that, I think, on here, that when she was in high school, there were a lot of parties kind of out in the middle of the desert, which is so interesting and weird to me because that obviously was not my high school experience growing up in Chicago. So things were going pretty well between the three roommates, but the apartment was pretty small. There wasn't a ton of kind of personal space and breathing room. So there was some occasional tension that kind of started to mount between the three, specifically between Christina and then Diana and Jennifer. So on May 24th, 1996, after the girls, Diana and Jennifer, got in an argument with Christina, the girls said, "We all need some time to cool off. Me and Jennifer are going to go to the convenience store, gas station, I think, um, located near 59th or 55th and Camelback Road in Glendale." So they told Christina, "We'll be right back. We're just going to cool off, buy some cigarettes. And we'll see you in a little bit." Christina said, quote, "They said they were going to walk to the store to get cigarettes and a pop and that they would be back in a little while. They didn't take anything with them and they never went anywhere without their makeup. So that's why I knew they were coming right back." But they did not come right back. In fact, that argument would be the last time that Christina would ever speak to her sister or Jennifer.